say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Get off your ass and vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
He built his wealth off the backs of New Yorkers.
We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money.
Challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So Donald Trump spoke today to reporters on his way into the Manhattan courtroom. And I think what he said, and probably more importantly, what he didn't say, are pretty important. And he's there for this ridiculous civil case against the Trump organization that is finally, so they say, just about over. And just to, kind of shine a light on how civil cases really work and why the government chooses to bring civil cases instead of criminal cases. It's obviously, it's all because of the burden of proof that is required of the government. Criminal cases, of course, rightly so, they have to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. While a civil case, basically the burden of proof is, it's possible that could have happened. That is literally the burden of proof in a civil case. And just to prove what a scam it is, Trump's organization, they've already been found guilty of fraud by this judge. They were found guilty before any witnesses were called, before any defense documents or defense exhibits were shown. Already guilty. And this is what they've all been subjected to, for what feels like months. This is all the punishment phase. And the judge basically already found guilt. And one of the ways that he has decided this guilt was to value the entire complex of Mar-a-Lago in Florida at $18 million, which even people who absolutely hate Donald Trump, they don't disagree that it's probably closer to $1 billion than it is to $18 million. But the judge says it's worth this ridiculous amount that he then gets to use to prove fraud. But anyway, that's what's going on. Trump talked to reporters on his way into the courtroom today. Take a look at what he had to say.
Has your reaction to the governor's taking shots at you yesterday with your president? Yesterday, what is your reaction to the governor's taking shots?
Thank you very much, everybody, and we appreciate you being here. This is a witch hunt, the likes of which probably nobody has ever seen. We've put on a case that is absolutely 100%. There's not a judge in the country that wouldn't have given us a total victory, but there's not a judge in the country that would have even taken this case. This is a witch hunt, and it's a very corrupt trial.
Are you opening
now, we won this case. We won this case at the Appellate Division. Most of it, we cover about 90% of the case. We won this case at the Appellate Division, and this judge refuses to acknowledge the Appellate Division. He said very specifically, we're going forward because there's something wrong here. We won this case. Remember this. Just put it in your heads. This case was won at the Appellate Division, and the judge refuses to do what the Appellate Division demands he do. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. When you win at the Appellate Division, that's your high court. The judge has to be bound by what their decision is. Well, we won at the Appellate Division. Part of that victory was Ivanka was not having to put herself through this, and they ruled that. But the bigger part of it was that about 90%, because of statute of limitations, about 90% of the case disappears. So remember this. We won the case at the Appellate Division, the High Court, and this judge refuses to acknowledge that victory or that demand. And that's very serious. So we're going in now. We have an expert witness, one of the great experts in the country, and I hope you'll all be able to listen to him. But it'll just be another day. If you look at the case, we did nothing wrong. There were no victims. The bank loves us. The bank testified. They love us. We did absolutely nothing wrong. We never even defaulted. We never had a default letter sent to us. The bank said we were a perfect customer. The bank didn't even know why they were here. And yet you have people being murdered outside. All over the streets they're being murdered. There's violent crime. And this Attorney General who's crazed. She's a lunatic. The Attorney General sits here because she knows that she has a judge, and no matter all the evidence, that judge is going to rule in her favor. He ruled against me before the case even started. the case hadn't started. He knew nothing, and he ruled against me. The other thing is this. He valued Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, because that was good for her case, at a value of $18 million, when in fact it's worth anywhere from 50 to 100 times that amount. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, but just remember what I said at the beginning. We won at the Appellate Division, and this judge refuses to honor that victory or that decision or that demand. Thank you.
Why did you say you were a dictator? Did you watch the dictator on day one? Can you explain that, please? Can you explain that to the people?
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot there, right? You know, we'll see what happens with appellate courts, and obviously something like this, if this judge really is as out of bounds as it appears that he is, you know, things like this is what makes it all the way to the Supreme Court if it's necessary. But, you know, I think it's interesting. You know, these reporters are covering this ridiculous case and they don't even seem to care. All they care about is trying to get him on the record talking about the race for second place. And honestly, I think his ignoring that question about the debate tells you really how much he cares about the debate. The guy has won the nomination. He's sure of it. And the only way they're going to stop him is through some unforeseen thing or through crazy weaponized cases just like this. Nobody cares about the debate. And none of these people, I don't think they have a chance. But the only guy that should have a chance has the entire establishment out to destroy him. And that's exactly what this looked like. You know, these rinky-dink lawfare cases coming at him from every civil direction, every criminal direction in 5 different places or more. And this is the kind of stuff that they can't stand. This is the kind of stuff that proves we really, really do have a serious problem in this country when it comes to what our governments are able to do. Anyway, that's all I've got on this, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.